Jeff Paterson from Rinkwide Canucks Army Securities and Price joins us. J-Pat, first off, how are you enjoying Edmonton?
Loving it. Now that the smoke has cleared up, can actually see the city, so that's been good. It's been a good couple of days here. Some good meals, good company, and I can't get enough of the sparring between the fan bases, the media members. Like, it's playoff time. It's second round. Like, I love it. I just listening to you guys talking about drilling down on defensive pairings and all that kind of. I love the minutia of playoff hockey and the between game adjustments, and the fact that, like, we're going to see two goaltenders that barely played in the regular season are stepping into the spotlight here. Game 4, all Canadian matchup. So some intrigue on the goaltending front. I know Chris Knobloch was talking about tweaking and tinkering with his lineup. Rick Tocchet wouldn't fully reveal what he had up his sleeve, but he said he may have an adjustment to make. Noah Juleson is going to draw in for the suspended Carson Soucy, but I can't get enough of the between game adjustment stuff. Like, I would be on with you all day, every day, just talking about the little tweaks and the way the teams think they can get the competitive advantage. So let's find out what happens when the puck drops tonight.
You pointed out just the lack of regular season starts for both Pickard and Seelovs, and they're going to meet in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. They have met in the playoffs before, though. The two of them both started games last year between Bakersfield and Abbotsford in the playoffs. So maybe there's a rivalry between these two. One guy you talk about, the fire that is, the fan base is going head to head, the media, all this stuff. One guy who is loving throwing fuel on it is Nikita Zadorov. Has he been this way his entire Canucks tenure? Has he always been this outspoken, or is he just loving playing the heel role in a big playoff series?
Yeah, like, it's my understanding, and I'll be the first to admit that I didn't follow that closely in some of his other stops. This is his 5th NHL team. Obviously, was on the other side in the Battle of Alberta a couple of years ago. So, he developed the proper hatred needed to face the Edmonton Oilers at this time of year. He's been terrific to deal with. He's a guy that doesn't seem to care an awful lot about what anybody thinks about him, whether it's in his own locker room or on the other side, or the outside noise. And again, stepping up today. We requested to speak to him yesterday after the $5,000 fine, and he's generally been a guy that's been available and accommodating. He was in the locker room after practice yesterday, but I don't know if he wanted to sort of process the news of the day, just collect his thoughts. But he wasn't available yesterday, but he was available today, and sure enough, delivers yet another just massive quote there about the league protecting its investment. He didn't name names, but I think we all know where he was going and what he was talking about. So, yeah, I mean, look, in this business, we want guys to speak their mind. We want guys to provide sound bites, and then when they do, you jump all over them. So, again, in the middle of a playoff series, I can get where Oiler fans and Oiler Nation are coming from. This guy is embracing the role of being the villain, but you know what? He has really leveled up for the Vancouver Canucks here. He's been good all regular season, but he's taken it to another level in the playoffs. And yeah, it seems that the hate that he's getting from the other side fuels him. I am curious to see what he's able to bring to the game, because I think he's going to get elevated tonight. I think he'll play with Tyler Myers in that Carson Soucy role, so essentially be in the top 4 on the Canucks defense. And we'll see. Ultimately, you can say whatever you want, but you got to let your actions speak for themselves. So he's going to have to step up and play the position and do what he does to help this hockey club.
Is he now going to be getting the boos? Is he boo worthy? Is he getting the Doughty treatment?
There were a few in game 3, like not very noticeable, but a couple people tried to get it going. I bet you he does tonight.
Yeah.
What did you make of the punishments handed out by the league yesterday? And do you think anybody else deserved to be punished for what happened after the whistle?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose and maybe this sounds a little biased coming from the Canucks side of things, but to have as many players as were involved at the end of the game and only the Canucks getting sanctioned, I think if the league truly wanted to lower the temperature, like, Connor McDavid could have handled a $5,000 fine. Something tells me that he's got that in his back pocket at all times. If you really wanted to send a message, why not slap the best player in the game, get everybody's attention, not just in this series, but around the National Hockey League, that, hey, the league's watching closely, the league's onto this kind of stuff. They don't want the after the whistles, and particularly after the final buzzer. So, look, it was a chop to the side of the pants. Soucy was fine, but I'm just saying, if the league truly wants to lower the temperature, I thought they could have stepped in and probably given Derek Ryan some sort of after the fact for the little how you doing on Niels Höglander in game number 2. So whatever. Carson Soucy, you can't cross-check anybody to the face. You certainly can't cross-check the best player in the league and on the planet. So I wasn't surprised. One game felt about right for me. And, 4 games into a heated playoff series, like that's a blow to the Vancouver Canucks. Carson Soucy is one of their best defenders. He's done a pretty nice job. He and Myers keeping the Oilers, using their length and their reach and keeping the Oilers to the perimeter. I know the shot totals haven't been flattering. The underlying numbers haven't been flattering when Soucy and Myers have been on the ice, but they've outscored the Oilers 3-2 in this series at 5-on-5. So they're doing something right to keep the puck out and ultimately allow the Canucks to go the other way and score some goals. So, I just, it baffled me a little bit that the suspension fine, then the Zadorov cross-check to me, guys, I feel like you see that 50 times a game in front of the net on penalty kills. I didn't think the cross-check was all that egregious. And again, I think Zadorov tried to make his point by suggesting that it had been on another player on the Edmonton Oilers. He maybe doesn't hear from the league, but whatever. It's done. It's a little bit of water under the bridge and just another layer to this escalating battle that, this is what we all wanted at the outset of the series. We wanted a little fury. We wanted some fire, and we're getting it now.
Yeah. All right. We've spent obviously so much time on this show talking about like, hey, what are the Oilers not doing? Not getting goaltending, sloppy in the D zone, all this kind of stuff. What are the Canucks doing well? Like to say they're up 2-1, I know we keep saying like, if the Oilers get 870 goaltending, is it 3-0, whatever. But the Canucks are clearly doing some things well. What's standing out to you?
Yeah, they're adhering to Rick Tocchet's structure, and it's not necessarily pretty to watch. And again, getting outshot 22-3 doesn't feel like a blueprint for success, but they've done this a lot where they get the lead and then they're able to sort of pack the middle of the ice. The underlying numbers showed that even though they got outshot badly, 5-on-5, they didn't give up a lot in the way of high dangers. And, if you watched the game the other night, and I know you guys did, but even as I went back through my notes from the third period, like there weren't that many glorious scoring chances for the Edmonton Oilers. So the Canucks defend well. They keep teams to the perimeter. They're happy that, I don't know if happy is the right word, but they're content with letting the other team possess the puck, but they want to make sure that it stays to the outside. And so they've been opportunistic at the other end of the ice. For me, guys, when I look at the series and the way that it's unfolding, obviously coming in, the Oilers' power play was right up there, if not at the top of the list for me of things that I thought could swing this series. We're 3 games in. The Oilers are 4 for 8. They're humming at 50% on the power play, but the Canucks have scored 3 power play goals of their own. So, the net difference in the Oilers' advantage on the power play is 1 goal. I think the Canucks would have signed up for that all day, every day at the outset of the series if you had told them that 3 games in, they'd been outscored. And the fact that the Canucks have had more power plays for all the bitching and complaining on both sides, again, something I didn't expect. And the way the series has played out to this point, the fact that the Canucks have had 9 power plays and the Oilers have had only 8, I think that's been a victory in and of itself for the Vancouver Canucks. But every night's a new night, and we'll see what happens and the way the game unfolds here. Canucks know that just what a mindset to know that you cannot go to the box. You're essentially spotting the Oilers a goal. And we've seen that, 4 for 8 on the power play here. So the Canucks are playing with fire anytime they head to the penalty box. But I think for me, discipline then has been one of the things that, look at the 8 power plays the Oilers have had. One was the too many men on the ice penalty 40 seconds into game 1, and Pia Suter got called for a puck over the glass. So within the flow of the game, the Canucks have limited it to 6 power plays. I'd say that in and of itself is, a success for a team facing the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah. You can't score on the power play if you don't give them power plays. And I think the Canucks have, for the most part, done a good job in that regard. And obviously officiating is always going to be a topic this time of year. And I don't think that's going anywhere. J-Pat, thanks for hopping on, man. Enjoy the game tonight. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, it was great to catch up with you guys yesterday in the office, and fun to be on with you today. So, can't wait. Game 4, bring it on. Let's see what happens tonight.
Let's see, indeed. There you go. J-Pat from Canucks Army, rink-wide van, Sequeiros in Price. What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.